Yeah, you don't play like no girl. That was
Yeah,
his name.
yeah. But shout out to Dawn Staley, North Philly, stand up, like you said, Diamond Street.
You're one of the toughest to ever come out of Philly. We don't see these tears from you often.
A perfect season. South Carolina beats Iowa in the national championship. It's just her second in 3 years, I think it is,
It is. Yep.
if I'm not mistaken. Man, now the one thing that I took away from this women's championship was how the star power is coming along. Like Caitlin Clark, people can say whatever they want to say about her, but she brought a lot of eyes to the game. Dawn Staley, a lot of eyes to the game. If I'm not mistaken, they did better numbers than the men did in terms of the NCAA championship. So people were tuned in.
Yeah.
People were watching this. Obviously, people were betting this game as well. South Carolina was actually a decent favorite in this game, and I believe they did cover easily here. I did not watch the game. I do not have the context of the players outside of the names that we know and the stars that we know. I knew obviously who Dawn Staley is. I know what she's done with that South Carolina program. I think there's only one senior on that team, if I believe. Team is all freshmen and sophomores, so they're all coming back. Probably another favorite to win it again. I was surprised to know some of the where she sits amongst legends. She had got her 600 win. She's over. I think like she's at 612, but she's like 40th on the list. I think the top. I think Tillman was up there, right? Pat,
Yep.
Tennessee. I
Yep.
think she was like 3 or something like that. I forget who's number one, but it's like 1,200 wins. So I thought she had more wins, or she was up that list or that ladder. So even though her greatness right now is writing her own story as we talk about it, rewriting history as we talk about it. Still a long ways to go to be in that GOAT conversation. But since Philadelphia podcast, both of us Philadelphia born and raised, always love to salute to one of our own coming out, from the mud pretty much and making something great of herself and being a representation and never forgetting that of where she comes from and who she is. But did he talk to me about this game, man? I'm assuming you watched the game.
Yeah, man. So much I want to talk about this really quick. I want to
Yeah,
spot on a
good.
couple of things. Well, first off, the college basketball finals game was one of the most bet on games in betting history for the men's side. Um, that goes down to tribute to the accessibility of gambling right now in
Yep.
2024. Able to gamble by the click of a button on your phone and all these different platforms. You're seeing this continue to rise and will continue to rise as the years go by. But although it wasn't a whole lot of viewership compared to the girls' game, there was a lot of money on that men's college basketball game, whether it was in parlays, single bets, prop bets, player prop bets, X, Y, and Z. On the other end of this, now you have women's college basketball being one of the most viewed events of all time. I believe it was like 18 million, or maybe I might be short a couple million, um, that tuned into that South Carolina Iowa game, and a lot of that has to do with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
But before we jump on to Caitlin Clark, I got to give my roses to Dawn Staley. Just such, I mean, you want to talk about class act, the example that she puts and portrays when she's interviewing, speaking to her teams, interviews. She just says the right thing. She keeps it real. Nothing changes. Like that's an example of a person keeping it real, but keeping it real at the same time as being professional, respectful, and like my name says, being humble in these moments, um, and knowing what to say. And I hope a lot of kids um, listen and kind of and grab from that. I know we love the Angel Reese's and the unapologetic me and blah blah blah. And yeah, that's cool. But I also love Dawn Staley as an example for my young people. And I think if I'm a kid or if I'm a parent of a kid has an opportunity to play at a high level, I want my kid to play for a person like Dawn Staley, just because I know she has the best interest for my child, and that's how she operates. And it's showing 110 or 111 and three as her win-loss percentage over the last 3 years. That's insane. 3
Yeah,
losses in 3
sick,
years,
sick,
110 wins, 2 national championships,
sick.
a Final Four appearance in the middle of that, and we're not talking about the same team here. We're talking about a whole new team. This team wasn't supposed to be where they were. This was, like you said, a young team. That she lost, I wanna say, what, 6 starters for her last
Yeah.
year? Either graduated or now in the WNBA.
It
So
shows that she can coach her ass off.
correct. And she
Like,
can
she can
have
coach
this
her
team
ass off.
believe and gravitate to them. You see them in
Yeah.
the background. They love each other. It's that teamwork, team first approach. So salute to Dawn Staley. I hope she continues her success and be great. Let's talk about one thing quickly too. How come we don't talk about women being in head coaching in college basketball, men's college basketball? It seems like it wants to be a narrative in the NBA, right? We're getting a lot of women into coaching in the NBA. If anybody can come coach, I think men's basketball, be Dawn Staley. She been messing with these guys, like she said in that video, the Nike commercial, since she was a youngin. Like, I
Mhm.
think she can lead people, whether they're male or female.
Yeah, and
But if you think about it,
I agree.
is there any female head coaches in college basketball for men?
No.
No, right?
But
That's
I
an
think right
interesting
now she's a big fish in a small pond. If you know that saying that. So, if you're a big fish in a small pond, do you want to jump into a pool where you're not no longer the big fish? And like I said, when I was talking about her, she's writing her story right now. I don't
Mhm.
think she's finished.
I
Um,
agree. I think that'd be a
South
great transition for her if she's up to that task. I mean, I know she's really into her people, women, moving basketball for that side of sports and continue to making that helping that grow. But I think it's
Mhm.
an opportunity for her to kinda come over, and I think she can lead men too. I think she can lead
Oh yeah,
young
for
men,
sure.
you know what I mean, at this next level and kinda give them a different perspective on respect and what it takes to be a champion. I would love to see that. So I just wanna kinda give my roses to Dawn Staley. And then, like, trans over to Caitlin Clark, man, she's the reason why all these people are tuning in. Caitlin Clark is the golden child. She is. I don't think there's been a person like that, in college women's sports probably ever, with the hype that she's gotten. Um, I think it will transition into the WNBA. Do I think that
Is
people
she
will
going
tune
to the
in?
WNBA?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She
That
is.
was her last game. Yeah, that was her last college basketball game. She'll be a
No, but I mean, she has the Ice Cube offer, right?
Yeah, yeah, but she'll be in the WNBA next year. She'll be an Indiana Fever. They've already sold out tickets. Visiting teams that's going to be playing Indiana already sold out. I
Yeah, I
think
heard.
90% of Indiana Fever games are going to be nationally televised. The WNBA is not going to allow her to go anywhere else besides because she's going to be a moneymaker. She's the golden goose. So when people say, "Hey,
How
it's going to
crazy?
take a
But
time
hold on,
for her to
let me
transition,"
stop you right there. How crazy is that?
it's really
Like
crazy.
how crazy is
It's
that
never
when
been done.
Ice Cube saw it, he said, "I'll give you 5 million," but you know they're gonna you can't give him the Ice Cube, right? You can't give her the Ice Cube. I mean, you got to block that out because
Yeah.
all that viewership, all that power goes right over the Cube because everybody would tune in to Big Three to see what she's doing over in the Big Three.
But the question is, I think yeah, because their season kind of comes around the same time. The question is, can she do both? I think Caitlin has the power to do that. It depends on how she wants to negotiate. She has all the leverage. She has all the power. If you want to play big three, maybe for a few games, you negotiate with Cube. Say, hey, listen, this is what I'm looking to do. I would love to help you out too. Maybe I'll play half a season as I, continue to work. Like she has the power. And I think her game is going to translate. I don't think it's going to be a tough transition because she can shoot from wherever. Now, is she going to be defended much better than she has been over these years? Are these grown women now that are now in the NBA? Is she going to have a target on her back? Absolutely. But I think she'll be able to adjust. She is the Steph Curry potentially going into the WNBA. But the monster behind her, the money monster behind her, they're not going to let her fail. I think that's what people don't realize. They're not going to let Caitlyn fail because she's going to
Yeah,
produce so much money. I just told you, 90% of the games are on national television. You're talking commercials, you're talking everything. She has a whole machine, a money machine behind her because of what
she's
she's
about to be
done.
the face.
She's going to be the face. They're already
Yeah,
showing you that. 16 plus million people, 18 million people tuned in
And
to
I
see
gotta
Caitlin
ask you,
Clark.